You know, it's like those rich people living these, luxurious lives, but they're not really rich. They're just living on credit. That's America. They've been able to keep a sort of a running tab with the rest of the world, with everyone believing that the U.S. was good for it, that they would make it right, that all these outstanding debts that they accrued in terms of their violence and their bullying and their oppression and their exploitation, their toppling of governments, their wars, their neoliberalism, and so on, for a long time, people were willing to have a blind faith that somehow America would settle all those debts with the world based off of that mystique that they had created. But just like the victim of a romance scam, it's gradually settled in that it was all lies, that it was bait and switch from the beginning. America catfished the world, and we know it now, and we can't unknow it. So everyone is moving on. The game is over. It's the consequences stage now.
Kahalayam la Yahweh Bahashim Yahawashi, Waha, Reha Kwadash. All praises and glory go to you, Lord. Double honors and respect go to our apostles, our elders, and our teachers, the men of Great Millstone. To you I say Shalom. It's your brother Amraya. And as you can see from the snippet, man, the veil is being removed, a revealing of what is under, okay, what has always been under this American dream, okay, which is just 100% a nightmare, okay? And for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and North American Indians, you real Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Scriptures, you've already known this because you have been at the bottom. These people have had their foot on your necks, okay, oppressing you, robbing you, raping you until there was nothing left. But now the veil is being removed, as I said, and people are starting to see that this is just an illusion, a mirage. So as we always do, we filter through the scriptures. I have on the screen here Habakkuk chapter 2. And I'll begin at verse 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Right. Make it make sense. Verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. It's not going to keep putting off and lollygagging and procrastinating. It's going to come down this pipeline like a fastball. So what is the vision? Let's read some more. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. And the one with the soul that is not upright in him is the nation of Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed so-called white man that rules in the world today, okay? Though they may call themselves by all manner of different names, we know them to be the biblical nation of Esau, Edom, Idumea, spoken of in the scriptures, the physical manifestation of the devil upon earth, okay? And all they know how to do is rape, rob, and steal and pillage until they burst because they're insatiable. Verse 5, yea, by the way, the one who shall live by his faith are you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and North American Indians, okay? And you confusion of faces. Again, those whose forefathers are Israelites, though you may happen to look like the other nations. Verse 5, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, which is his philosophy, okay? He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Now, for this next portion, I wanted to get into the blue letter, because we left off on Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. And I wanted you to get a clear picture before continuing on in this video what is going on here. So we begin at verse 6 where we left off on verse 5. Habakkuk 2 and 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that laden himself with thick clay. Right. And this is speaking to the debt of the rulership of this nation that these people worship so much, America, Babylon the Great. And how do we know this? Let's go ahead a little bit more in depth, because it ends out on thick clay. So if we go down to thick clay and find out what that means, it's abadyat. Abadyat. Okay. And what does it mean? Okay. Something pledged collectively, pawn goods. But let's go ahead and get it in Bible usage. Heavy debts. So how long until this bitch goes down because of its heavy debts? Okay. Now that we have an understanding, let's continue on.
You know, it's like those rich people living these, luxurious lives, but they're not really rich. They're just living on credit. That's America. They've been able to keep a sort of a running tab with the rest of the world, with everyone believing that the U.S. was good for it, that they would make it right, that all these outstanding debts that they accrued in terms of their violence and their bullying and their oppression and their exploitation, their toppling of governments, their wars, their neoliberalism, and so on. For a long time, people were willing to have a blind faith that somehow America would settle all those debts with the world based off of that mystique that they had created. But just like the victim of a romance scam, it's gradually settled in that it was all lies, that it was bait and switch from the beginning. America catfished the world, and we know it now, and we can't unknow it. So everyone is moving on. The game is over. It's the consequences stage now. Everyone is moving on. The game is over. It's the consequences stage now.
All right. We are in the consequences stage. We're going to find out exactly what is about to happen to America, Babylon the great whore that sitteth on many waters. Okay. And I'm going to skip a couple of these scriptures in this chapter, but I will put a link to the apostle's video, his breakdown on Revelation 17, if you want to get a more detailed look as to who these 10 horns are and 7 kings, etc. Okay. But I have to go through this for time's sake pretty quickly. Revelation 17:1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come here, I will show unto you the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Right. America, Babylon the Great, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Right. Her wayward doctrines and philosophies. The people are drunk. They are completely in opposition to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Holy Scriptures. Okay. Everything that America, Babylon the Great has pushed has been abominations, from, LGBT 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 community, all the way down to murder, rape, and robbery. Okay. It has supported everything that the Lord has commanded not to do. And now we move on to the consequences stage. All right. Now, verse 2. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Right. Verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of the names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. That is representing NATO and the EU. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Verse 5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Right, the mother of whores and abominations of the earth. Okay. Now the consequences. Let's skip down a little bit, because again, I'm going to put a link to the apostles' video in this video, and please watch the breakdown. Okay. Very edifying. Now, where are we going to pick up? I'll pick up at verse 14. It says, These shall make war with the Lamb. The Lamb is Yahushua HaMashiach, whom you ignorantly recognize as Jesus Christ. Okay? Now, the NATO and the EU, America, Babylon the Great, collectively are going to want to make war with the Lamb. But again, watch the breakdown of the Apostles' video. Verse 14. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful, right? The elect of the nation of Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and North American Indians. Okay? Verse 15. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, which you saw, where the whores sit, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues, right? Because she heapeth unto her all people. America, Babylon the Great is a land of confusion because it is a melting pot of all these different cultures and idolatries. Verse 16. And the 10 horns which you saw upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. Right. America, Babylon the Great, the consequences of her whoredoms and abominations, ultimately is going to end with thermonuclear fire being rained upon her by her own allies and enemies until she is destroyed, until it looks like a lake of fire from the heavens. That is the consequences of her unrighteous rulership. Again, verse 16, and the 10 horns which you saw upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai have put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, America, Babylon the Great, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Right. Okay. There's no healing of America, Babylon the Great. It's too far gone. Matter of fact, I'm going to get that in Nahum real quick. Nahum 3:19. There is no healing of your bruise. Your wound is grievous. All that hear the bruit of you shall clap the hands over you. For upon whom have not your wickedness passed continually? Right. All America, Babylon the Great has done is spread wickedness, and it's time to pay up. Now I'm going to end out in 2nd Ezra chapter 11, and we're going to go down to the bottom, right? Now, why is there consequences? Because of the treatment of the nation of Israel inside of its city walls. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and North American Indians have only been afflicted and oppressed, raped, robbed, and murdered in this country. And it's time to pay the piper. Now, the Lord asks a question in this verse here, 2nd Ezra 11:39. Are not you it that remainest of the 4 beasts whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? And the 4th came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth, which with much wicked oppression. And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. The self-proclaimed so-called white man, the nation of Esau, Edom, Idumea, has only spread lies and deceit and ruled in unrighteousness. Verse 41, for the earth have you not judged with truth, for you have afflicted the meek, you have hurt the peaceable, you have loved liars and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and have cast down the walls of such did you no harm. Therefore is your wrongful dealing come unto the highest, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, and your pride unto the mighty. The highest also have looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. And therefore appear no more, thou eagle, you proud American eagles, and Babylon the Great. Your time is over. You will appear no more. Verse 45 again, and therefore appear no more, thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body. that all the earth may be refreshed and may return, being delivered from your violence, and that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her. Call halayim la Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Live it up, devils. Your time is about up, man. Okay? And that we're in the consequences stage now. The trial is over. It's about to be sentence, judgment cast upon the earth. Okay? And the world will be judged for its evil. You Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and North American Indians will be returned to your former glory. And that is the elect of the nation of Israel, because 2/3 of Israel, 66.6% of the people, will be cut off in their iniquities in America, Babylon the Great, and all of its affiliating countries. Okay? Only the elect will return, that preserved elect that the Lord has reserved for himself. That is the 144,000 and the innumerable multitude that comes out of every nation, tongue, and in culture, because the Israelites were scattered to the four winds under heaven. Okay? Now is the time for judgment. Now is the time for sentencing. Now is the time for the consequences. Okay? Hopefully this has been edifying. I want to say call halayim la Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai for this message. Until the next time, Israel, Shalom.